Hello. Hello, people. Hello, and welcome to the third stream recording the behind the scenes of the series Free Thoughts. I hope you get some value out of the recordings that are going to be made here today and that you remember them forever and, and hope you use the knowledge that you are going to acquire here. Take the opportunity to say hi on the chat, talk with each other, socialize, and in between videos, if I have time, I will try to read some comments. Yeah, but I don't have time actually. But I will do my best to write to the comments. Feel free to enjoy, share the stream, and enjoy your trip. Let's start. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. The person when it reflects on what it reads. When the person reflects on what it reads, the person becomes a lot more stronger, mentally stronger. Because using the tool of reflection, the person using personal examples that fit into their life and also outside examples that the person can see and identify, the person can form a solid block of knowledge where the person can see through the eyes of the idea that read how that applies to real life situations, taking conclusions, forming then a solid block of knowledge. And solid blocks of knowledge, they have emotion attached to it. Solid emotion. Because only reading and feeling good about reading and feeling how the person understands what it is reading, it's interesting, maybe improves intuition, but it doesn't incorporate robustness or solidness in the nervous system of the person. Because without reflection, without identifying how that serves as an example in real life, sorry, how that real life can serve as an example for what the person just read, then it is much harder, well, to maintain that struck piece of knowledge throughout life. And the best way to maintain this really solid, robust piece of knowledge in the nervous system so the next decisions are taken based on this solid structure of knowledge, it is to put the knowledge in the second brain, which I have a book on how to create a second brain, The Secret to 21st Century. Because when you reflect, you are seeing how that applies to the life of to your life. And now that gave you emotion. So, well, it is more vividly on your nervous system. And putting into the second brain is a way to remember along the way, along the time. As per, not as per time, but as time passes, some persons loses or forgets some knowledge that they acquired previously. Why? Well, there can be lots of reasons. One of them it is the person not using the knowledge, not reviewing the knowledge, and so forth and so forth. And the second brain, it is very useful. The person building on their second brain the piece of knowledge, really solid knowledge, well, they can build the next knowledge upon those blocks and taking their life decisions based on those blocks of knowledge. Then they can become a lot more tactical and strategically on their decisions about life. And my friend, that is the first and only step you need to improve your quality of life and master your behavior. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. You have access to my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you need to master your behavior and become more intellectual. Turn the world to another eyes. Well, feel free also to acquire my recent book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Links on the description. Thank you so much, and as always, good luck. Oops. Hello, and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. Why some people are creative. This is my idea, one of my many ideas. Hope you take value from it. One person can be very creative because somehow it learned that the main path it didn't sorry not it didn't the main path did not gave him a reward. The person got rewarded by the peripherals, the sideways, not by going through the norm, not going by through the nucleus that people put as the definition of some specific word, for example. So, looking at the word joint, the person is not only looking at a little small, dense definition of joint, just the nucleus of it, which is like the definition into words. It can be a literal form or well, jointing in the way that I'm jointing in a straight line two bottles of water. This is really interesting because the person that is more creative, it is more prone to look at the peripheral definitions and associations of jointing. So, well, if one person only sees jointing as literally jointing one into each other and jointing into the sense that jointing in the straight line, well, then it will be more harder to be creative and create a third new bottle that has more stylish design. So, to create a third bottle, the person should look in different ways to join these two bottles, as if somebody told them to join and they have to follow these instructions, for example. So, a more creative person will see far beyond that nucleus of definitions of words that it is the norm. Because being creative is that, right? It is creating things that are outside the norm. Otherwise, they won't be creative if the creative things will be the norm, right? For example, inventing Uber Eats. That was creative some years ago. Today is not creative. It's just one more app. So back to the joint example. The creative person will see ways to joint by their world in the peripheral ways of the definition of the world. The word joint. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say world, but word. So they think like this. Okay, no, guys, you are doing everything completely wrong. To join these two bottles and create a third bottle, you can use the top of these. I'm sorry, the bottom. I don't wanted to say the top. the bottom of this bottle and jointing with the top of this bottle, which is also gray in gray color. So now we have an elegant touch of a third water bottle that starts with a bigger bottom and ends with a elegant and finer um, temp temp of the bottle. So uh, it continues and goes on and on. The person can even say in the middle we let the black dominate, and on the sideways up here and down here we use green, and in the middle we are going to make it more small, so maybe the person can grab with their uh, 2 or 3 fingers the water bottle so it can drink more easier. Well, and that's a different way of looking to the joint word, and I think it's a very interesting and useful one. So I think that's an interesting example. They think creatively. They have a lot more all outside associations of the norm. So if the norm is here, they will see here and a lot more. They have more associations attached to their meanings. As an example, I hope this idea was useful to you. Maybe you can identify that on yourself. Maybe you can see some people that are like this. Send them this video. Thank you. Remember that you can enter on my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you need to master your behavior and become more intellectual. Also, take the opportunity to buy my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century. Available on Amazons throughout the world. Thank you so much, and as always, good luck. That was really interesting. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to be more productive. An efficient way to be more productive it is to win the habit of eliminating distractions. Example: one time per month, the person selects a new distraction to eradicate, so it become sorry, not didn't want to say become. So their life becomes more productive. So the person starts in a more simplistic way and look out for small little things on their visual environment. For example, to where they can eradicate or eliminate some distractions. As an example, the phone. The person sees the phone and grabs the phone, so that's a distraction. The person goes through their normal life having the phone in the table, but this time, this month, the person will win the habit of not letting the phone on the table, so it puts on the other side. It is only one habit per month because it is less stressful than if it is 2 habits or 3 habits or 1 week or 2 weeks. Even though 1 month it can be, well, few. It sorry, not I didn't mean to say few. 1 month cannot be enough to eliminate a distraction in a way that becomes a new habit, not having the thing. The person can even need more than just 1 month, 2 months. Because the person can, not just because, but, and the person can become more sophisticated in the sense that starts removing more sophisticated habits and just letting the phone on the table and removing unwanted food from their kitchen and What else? Not letting their clothing on the ground without, well, putting them on the appropriate place to then wash the clothing. And then, after deleting those bad habits and distractions, the person can become more sophisticated and start eradicating other types of habits. As an example, the person can eradicate the habit of having some useless thoughts. So, the person notices that sometimes it is having useless thoughts, that they are not productive. As an example, the person goes out into their sofa after having their lunch and they notice themselves resting the body during 30 minutes, and during that time the person is with their head on the sky and ruminating and thinking in the things that will cause anxiety in the future, etc., etc., etc. And that's a habit. The person notices it. It is associated with the context, with the place, with the time, or you don't need to say time, but the person notices that it is 30 minutes, for example. So now the person identifying this habit that is a distraction, it can take a step forward into eliminating this habit. And because the person has a lot of knowledge about psychology and human behavior, or at least it should, and you can win that knowledge watching my videos and entering on my educational platform. So the person finds a strategy to reduce those thoughts and applies it. Sometimes the challenge for the person it is how to uh, want to insert this strategy that the person discovered. Now the person sees, okay, which strategies can I use to reduce bad thoughts or thoughts that useless thoughts? I'm sorry, not bad thoughts. Useless thoughts is the right word. It can even ask ChatGPT a strategy to test out. And it can be, let's say, mindfulness. Scientific studies say that mindfulness reduce anxiety, what else? Improve focus, concentration, and they even reduce the size of amygdala and increase the size of hippocampus. So that's maybe an interesting strategy to test out. So the person in this new place tries to meditate, or not try, sorry, starts to meditate. Even in the beginning, because the person don't know a lot about meditation, it grabs the phone and uses waking up app for some, from some areas, for example, or any other app that have some good teachers on meditation, and then so starts to meditate. And as time goes by and the person knows about more, even more about meditation, as an example, well, it see after 1 month if the strategy is giving results or not and makes their evaluation. Probably it will be a lot more easier to not, I'm sorry, not a lot more easier. The person will probably have less useless thoughts because the person it is essentially training their mind to be in the present moment in that context and place, and it can be enough of a strategy. If not works, well, there's a huge number of strategies to test so the person removes this place from a place of useless thinking. As an example, the person can associate this place to reading, and now the person it is reading a book instead of just be sitting down thinking in useless things. Or even sometimes in a more sophisticated way, it can be enough to think, is this thought useful? No, it is useless. I don't need to think on what the hell my neighbor is cultivating on their garden. Because people can have those random stupid thoughts, and there's a chance they can rectify themselves. Yeah, this is not useful. What the hell I'm thinking about my neighbor's garden? Yeah, that is not interesting. Let's go back to work, or let's read a book or take a tea. Took a tea. So I believe that's an interesting habit to insert by. 1 month, it's a lot. It gives time to see the results of the strategy. And as time goes by, compound effects kick in, and the sky is the limit. Thank you for watching this video. You have the opportunity to enter on my educational platform School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you need to master your behavior and become more intellectual. 15 days to test, and if you are not satisfied, money back. Also, acquire my recentest book, How to Create the Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Thank you so much. As always, good luck. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to not spend money compulsively. There's one way to not spend money compulsively. I'm joking. There's lots of ways. I will tell you two of them. Actually, it's one simple rule, but in two different contexts. One a more simple version, another one is a more sophisticated version. So, the person inserting a rule of waiting 48 hours before buying something, it can be the only rule that a person needs to master their behavior and not buying useless stuff. Because the person is watching Amazon and Twitter and Instagram ads. Oh, really need this. A book. Oh my god, this new book, I really need to buy it. Oh, this new iPhone, I really need to buy it. Oh my god, so many new things, so many new stuff. And now the person buys something out of nowhere. Useless buying. I've made that mistake. I bought like 129 euros in books at the event I went, and it wasn't very productive because it was impulsively. I have here the books. I'm sure I will eventually read them. Some of them I wrote, and it really changed my life in a way that it put me through a different direction. Not through. It influenced my direction and my beliefs. But I'm telling you, those strokes, those blocks of knowledge. Very interesting. So now, continuing. With this, the person can insert a rule that as experience go by, it becomes automated. So now the person, it is not making effort to waiting 48 hours before making some decision because it is it is automatically happen. It's a new rule that the person inserted on their mindset. So now it is no effort. It is part of the manual life of the person. At first, this can be challenging because the person is habituated to do these things automatically, impulsively. So now that the person needs to inhibit this impulse, it can be more challenging because it is delaying the reward that the person is habituated to buy this new stuff when it feels the urge to. But I'm pretty sure that when this rule is set in stone for the person, as their nervous system embodies it, it's a lot more easier to act on it. Also, the more sophisticated rule it is to, well, Not wait 48 hours before the person goes out with their friends at the nightclub, example, because the person cannot wait 48 hours before buying the next cocktail, right? So what the person can do, now it's really the rule, can set up a budget before going out with friends. Example, the person sets out the budget 10 to 15 euros. That's the only money the person is going to buy when he's going out with friends. Perfect. Just setting out the intention to on your second brain, the person will be more will sorry will be yes will be not your the I'm sorry. What I mean is, just by setting out the intention, the person will be more primed to look at the prices of the things they are buying because they have an intention to just spend 10 to $15 euros, sorry. So now they are wanting to stick to that goal. So the brain will be more primed to look at the prices. Now, lots of things can happen. The person can be reducing their spending. And from 50 euros of spending, it went to 20, 25 euros. Because it set out the intention. So the person was more, not inhibiting, but paying more attention to some details. So automatically stop it before than just going out, let's spend all the money, and boom. Let's see what life has to me. Even though it can be harder on the first times to put the new budget in place, it's very, very, is from a wise man to write their experience. Because writing the experience, the wiser man can have a comparison turn. Sorry, a comparison term. And the person can see on their second brain the budget they set it up, how was the experience, in the sense that it can be just how much they spent, to act as force to the next time act more accordingly to the behavior that the person set it up in stone in their second brain. Sorry, not in stone, set it up on their second brain just to spend 10 to 15 euros. If not, the person can even go further and write down all the experience, how it was, so it can detect where were those small little details that made the person spend more money than it was expecting to. So, for example, it can be like friends went to a new place, and because it was a new place, the person got very excited and spent all the money. Oh my god, I really need to try this out. Give me all the drinks. The new place, party, I don't care. Boom. So the person can the next time set it up a rule to new places. Even on new places, I can exceed the budget, but only by 10%, 5%, 10 euros, 20 euros. It makes more sense than 20%. So next time the person will be more attentive to these details. And who says this? Says any other small details that the person, as it have their own experience, can have detect and create. For example, it can detect also that there is some nervous moment or some topic that made the person nervous. Yeah, that's right. There was some topic that made the person nervous. So now they noticed that because somebody touched that topic, they wanted to grab another drink or exceed what their expectations were for the night. And, well, set up strategies to face those challenges next time. And as you get more knowledge, it is more easy to create new strategies, especially when you have the help of my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Also, you can enter on my educational platform School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you want to master your behavior and become more intellectual. You have 15 days to test, and if you are not satisfied, money back. Links are in the description. Thank you so much, and as always, good luck. Hello, and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to get more self knowledge with habits, patterns that happen along the time. One of the most efficient ways to win self knowledge with habits it is to write them down. For example, I have a piece of paper, my piece of second brain, or my digital second brain, and that can be and that is the only material I need to do my exercise. So the person starts to write down what they do throughout the day, since they wake up until they go to sleep. And boom, magic will happen. Even though the person may not see some magic at the first glance, I guarantee you that as days pass by, the magic will become stronger and stronger and stronger, that you will start noticing it. Because the person can write the first time and forget some small little details, some things that the person don't want to remember. For example, waking up and looking to the phone, because the person knows that is not very good, so subconsciously it doesn't even remember. So the person do in the first day, and because the person just wrote down the habits they are having, on the second day they will be more prone to detect these new ways of behaving. I'm sorry, not these new ways of behaving, that doesn't make any sense. They will detect some small little details that they didn't remember in the previous day. And if the person remembered all the details in the first day, perfect. So, after this, the list can be something like this: wake up, turn off the alarm, giving snooze, staying in bed, woke up eventually. Do a priming exercise, do the bed, put the exercising clothes, etc. Now, the person has a starting point to get more self knowledge, and it can find the spots to improve. For example, if snoozing and staying in bed, giving snooze and staying in bed, or just go out through all the list and look through the spots. I'm sorry, not through the spots, and look into what the person is making right. As an example, the person noticed that likes to, after taking the breakfast, likes to grab a cup of coffee, watching the beautiful landscape that exists out there. Now, it can be interesting because the person may not know this, but as doing this exercise and as days go by, they start noticing these little details. And now they make the conclusion, oh, I like forests and landscapes more than I thought I like, maybe. And the list is infinite. I hope this video was useful. Oh, and one thing more that my brain thought now it was a good opportunity to say, that it is to not be worried with some small little details. Example, the person as the first time doing this exercise can think, okay, but to which detail I will write this down? Do I put just dressing up my jeans and then the shirt and then the boxers? Or just do I put just dressing the clothing? Dressing up. That's the right way to say it. Well, and the answer it is to put how the hell you want, not spending too much energy on the small little details, because it is stressful, again wasting energy, and also it is not very useful. Not sorry, it is not because it's not very useful. The real reason it is that as the person maintains to do maintains this exercise as days go by, first day, second day, third day, that will fall into it, meaning the pieces will fall naturally into it, what you need to scrutinize on naturally. So just maintain the persistence, consistency as time goes by, that all the details that need to fit in naturally, they will fit in. You will detect eventually. Especially if you follow the list of the videos produced here on the channel. One of them, it is to win the habit of detecting distractions and eradicate them throughout time. For example, 1 time per month, I eradicate one new distraction. Okay. For now, that's all. That was how to win more self-knowledge with habits. Thank you so much. Remember, you have my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you want to master your behavior and become more intellectual. You have also 15 days to test, and if you are not satisfied, money back. Remember, acquire my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Links in the description. Good luck. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to create strategies to surpass challenges. I will make some examples here. You can make the parallel to your challenges and think for yourself using your creativity. Because I don't like to say exactly what to do. I like to give power to the person, even though I can share some useful ideas that make it so. At least that's my purpose, to share ideas and the person do whatever it wants to do. Okay. Sharing ideas is good. So, we have a list of the challenges that the person wants to surpass. In this case, the person wrote their daily routine, which is waking up, turning off the alarm, but by snoozing. So, as it is by snoozing, the person stays in bed and wakes up eventually. It goes out of bed eventually. So this is a challenge for the person because the person cannot go out of this state to another state. So what the person can do here? The first step it is to explore. There isn't any option where I can remove this, meaning there's any option where I can remove the obstacle, which you can consider the obstacle of waking up, but the real obstacle here in the interpretation of the person, it is that the person gives snooze and the person don't want to give snoozes, just wants to wake up and go straight to start the day. The person then she sees, how can I remove the snooze? And exploring the app Alarmy, which is the app that the person uses, notices it that the snooze option can be eradicated from the alarm. So now the person don't have the snooze button. It just have the turn off the alarm button. But as the person knows that the alarm will not be ringing again in the future, at least in the near future, 5 to 10 minutes, meaning in this context, the person wake up straight because it has work to do during the rest of the day, and it can't miss out their obligations, commitments. That's probably a better word. Commitments is probably a better word. So, also, there's more things the person can use to a sticker in the top of the phone saying, you don't want to snooze. You want to wake up. Think on your child. Think on your objective. Even though the person can do that, probably it doesn't even need to be that much stimulus. It doesn't need to be so strong the stimuli to make the person wake up. Sometimes just a small reminder can be enough. Also, the person has one more challenge, which it is when he goes to take a shower, sometimes it fails to complete all their beard, in the sense that the person it is shaving their beard and it forgets some little part of the beard, for the example here. Now the person can set a reminder in the phone or just a post-it in the bedroom, in the bathroom, to remember to be present. Be present. Meaning, in scientific terms, not in mainstream terms, meditate. Or in common sense, just being in the present moment, watching what is in the front of the person. And that can be enough for the person to be more attentive to what it is doing and less with the head on the moon, thinking and traveling through other parallel worlds. So they go back to Earth and they stay here so they do not forget to make some parts. They do not forget to shave some parts of the beard. I think this is very interesting. So, visual cues, meditation, and setting out the intention. This is a new one. Setting out the intention. So I say it now. Sometimes to insert new behavior, as we went through 2 simple habits. Let me tell you that for other challenges during routines or even emotional stuff, new behaviors that the person wants to implement on their life, the intention can be enough. Just writing what the person has the intent to do next time. So it's something like this. When X happens, I will do Y. Or I will do Y at X time. Or just setting out intention on the person on terms. And see the magic happening. Hope this is useful. Remember, you have my educational platform School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you want to master your behavior and become more intellectual. You have 15 days to test, and if not satisfied, money back. Also, acquire Mario Santos' book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Thank you so much. As always, good luck. Hello. Uh, Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to detect emotional habits. Pick up the habit that you want to detect, in the sense that tense habits, habits of being sadness, sorry, not habits of being sadness, habits of being sad. And then, in some context, for example, now the person asks, which tense moments did I lived before? Tense moments not in a larger period of time, even though it can be, but today we are talking here in the short time moments. We are talking on conversations throughout the day and just noticing how the person is feeling. Sometimes it is hard to do this as the person it is not habituated to do these types of exercises. So the person it doesn't know, it doesn't remember, or says, no, I don't have moments of tension. That can be an answer. Buzz, not buzz. But as you probably know, it is not true. So the person can just have the intention to notice on themselves when they feel tense. For example, they can have the intention to notice more their non-verbal behavior, for example, or just doing this in the table. And even on facial expressions. For example, you can interpret your own facial expressions and non-verbal in your way. There is not a straight line. Only you, only the own person can detect. Only the own person can interpret their own cues, meaning their own non-verbal and their own facial expressions. I'm just telling and remembering that paying attention to these small little things, it is useful for the person to notice when they become tense. And then detect it and ask why to themselves. Or to insert how they want to respond in a situation next time. Example, the person felt really sad Or let's maintain with the tense. I'm sorry, the person felt really tense when somebody made a comment on their head. Their head is very bold. Example. Ball. Ball, that's the right word in English, I believe. Help me on this one, guys. I'm a Portuguese man. Still learning. Always learning. The person can detect this and now insert their new behavior. Next time somebody makes a comment on my appearance, I'm going to say, there is none of your business. Or, thank you, I don't appreciate those types of comments, so please don't make them. And a smile. Whatever the person wants to compromise, not compromise, wants to reply to the other person in this conversation. This can be enough to detect a lot of internal stimuli, thoughts of thoughts, their own thoughts, the thoughts of other person speak out through their mouth, and the person can ask the why, see the why they felt like this way, and see to the next place in time that this happened and change the behavior to the behavior that they want, or just reflect on it, whatever they want, right? But this is just to detect. Remember, your nonverbal, your facial expressions are a catalyzer to these inner thoughts and reflections. I hope this video it is useful. I hope this video is useful to you. Remember, you have access to my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you want to master your behavior and become more intellectual. 15 days to test. Not satisfied. Money back. Also, acquire my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Links are on the description. Thank you so much, and as always, good luck. Hello, and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. How to build confidence even after failures. Let's say, for example, that the person lost some confidence because it had a huge failure on their job. A presentation didn't go well. Okay, the person now can build confidence again by looking at the comments made previously by their colleagues to previously work done by the person, that it was really good work done by the person. So the person remembers these stimulus, meaning emotion, that they had previously when they had done their work. And this can be enough so the person can maintain, keep going with their work. Remember that this is just a small little detail on the path, and keep going, keep going, keep going. Comments of colleagues, good colleagues, it is just one example, because the person can see other stimulus. For example, just analyze their own work, just analyzing that they studied 100 hours so they couldn't prepare better, and that's just it. Sorry, that's just it, not hit. Hit, it's not what I meant. Hit, that's it. So, remembering steps that the person made previously that made her feel confident, or proof that the person can show to themselves that make the own person feel confident on their work and on what they are doing, so they can keep going. A huge, remember, it is the more fear the person has and runs away to it, the bigger it gets, the fear. To be more precisely, a fear, when not faced, it tends to grow and grow and grow. So, the person to build confidence, it is just to see the good comments, having these good stimuli, and continue and proceed with their life. Because that probably won't happen again soon. Of course, taking consideration that the person prepared in an optimistical way. Because failures can serve to that too. To build, not build, to win and have motivation to do better. Sorry, not to do better. To prepare better than for the next presentation. Because if the person only prepares for 10 hours and it could have prepared 20 or 30, that's an optimal number. Well, the person can use that as a learning and as a fuel, so the next time the person puts the hours in time, so it don't fails in their work. I want to tell you that you can have the privilege to access my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you need to master your behavior and become more intellectual. 15 days to test. Not satisfied? Money back. Also, take the opportunity to buy my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Thank you so much. As always, good luck. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. A strategy to delete self-criticism. A strategy to delete self-criticism that it is very useful. It is to find the not the criticism. Not least not what I meant right now. Find the situations that the criticism happened previously, like three, for example, 1, 2, 3, and detecting what the person said to themselves. The person said, I'm not enough, I screw everything, I don't deserve love. Okay, I don't deserve anything, I don't do anything good, and I screw up, whatever it is. Okay, old narrative. 1, 2, 3. Let's put this as three narratives. Example. The person, after detecting these three old narratives or micro narratives, should choose a narrative that can replace the old narrative. For example, I don't deserve love. The person can write down, every human being deserves love, including me, and a beautiful heart below. And put that card on their phone and bring with them on their pocket, or just write it down on a piece of paper. And when the situation happens, the person, when it notices, oh, it is happening, oh, it is detecting that it will happen, the person just takes out the pocket, not the pocket, the pocket. The person just takes out the confrontation card and the card, and it reads and tells themselves, every human being deserves love, including me. Boom. And with repetition, 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 and time, this will become a propulsor force to replace the old narrative with this new narrative. And we hope that the self-criticism, it will be reduced on this side. The person can do the same to other narratives. For example, I do everything wrong. The person can write to insert this new narrative of, every human can fail, or I'm just a human, I'm not perfect. Boom, done. When the situation comes of the old narrative of I do everything wrong, The person detecting, read out, and tell themselves, I'm just a human being. Oh, any human being can fail. I'm just a human being. Yeah, that's the right word, sorry. Sorry for mixing up. I'm just a human being. I'm not perfect. Time, repetition, this new narrative will be inserted on the person. And it is the same for the other narrative. Just find out the old narrative and replace by a new narrative that it is more healthy. With this in mind, that will become the new narrative, so it should be something good. Also, below the phrase, if the person, sorry, not if, adding also a visual stimuli or justifications, or not justifications, a better word, it is proofs of that, it will increase the probability of the person inserting this new narrative faster, because it is giving emotional proof to themselves. So it is not just a letter that the person wrote to themselves, but it is a letter with proof that the letter it is real. So it gives some emotion on the person that can grow over time, and it becomes associated with that narrative, and self-criticism goes away. I hope this strategy it is useful for you to eliminate your self-criticism. If you need, of course, I recommend you to see a therapist or psychologist or any health professional, which I'm not yet. I'm studying it. And I think this should be common sense. This should be common sense and be learned in school too. So, take the opportunity to enter on my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you need to master your behavior and become more intellectual. Also, buy my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. Links are on the description. Thank you so much and good luck. Hello and welcome to one more episode of Free Thoughts. Enjoy your trip. A practical exercise to increase self-confidence. One practical exercise to increase self-confidence, it is to win the habit of looking to the qualities that the own person have, and showing proof to themselves as that it is real. For example, for me, I use this static previously, and sometimes I look at it to remember. Still, which is I made more than 7 million views, meaning visualizations, on my content career from 2015 to 2020 in Portugal, which is a small country. We are like 11 million people. And Brazilians are less probable to watch our content comparing to Portuguese people watching Brazilian content because of the accent, especially because I'm from north of Portugal. So my accent is really not one that Brazilian people could understand very easily, especially at the time. Now it's better. So for me, and for lots of people, doing more than 17 million visualizations, creating content, it is a huge step. It is a huge, big milestone. It means that I have some talent, some potential, or the potential went to realization and can continue to happen throughout life. So that it can be a huge, big stimulus to the person, in this case, me, to continue doing it and prove myself that I can surpass the challenge just no matter what, or be successful again on my YouTube career, on my intellectual career, as I like to call it. And imagine it, 7 million people. Just think on examples on how that's so vividly and true. For example, how can I see 17 million persons in my front? It is, for example, hundreds and hundreds of stadiums completely full. And imagine that on the head, not on the head, sorry. Imagining that, feeling it can be emotional proof so the person can believe on that and, well, feel more confident on their qualities and capacities. So looking at qualities, achievements, and proof that comprove that results, hours of studying, contemplating, as I like to say, all the hours of studying that a person made, so their self-confidence increases a little bit. Because, for example, I have colleagues that I bet that they studied psychology, for example, 5,000 hours or more, lot more. And they are sorry, not afraid. And these colleagues are afraid of committing some small little mistakes or some mistakes when it comes out to producing content. I at least induce that. Or, and this is definitely true, talking about some things because they cannot know. They cannot know enough. That's a better way to put it out, more precisely way to put it out. And because there can be some authoritative figure, for example, a teacher, telling them, no, because, like it happens on universities, the teachers to fix the mistakes of the students. This is wrong, or whatever it is that you want to call it, or just be paying, be in the center of attention because of some small mistake, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So looking at these stimulus, the effort, the qualities can be enough to create this huge emotional propulsor, this emotional boost, so the person can believe that it is not it is, so the person can believe that has the qualities and the talent to be confident on what the person it is going to do. I hope this it is useful to you. If not, send to a friend. It will be useful to someone. I promise you. Take the opportunity to consider entering on my educational platform, School for Adults, where you can get all the wisdom you want to master your behavior and become more intellectual. 15 days to test. Not satisfied? Money back. Also, acquire my recentest book, How to Create a Second Brain, The Secret to 21st Century, available on Amazons throughout the world. A big hug to you, and as always, good luck. That was really interesting. All these 10 videos recorded. Very, very beautiful. Guys, thank you for being here with me during the recording of these 10 videos for my series Free Thoughts. The name of the videos are The Person When It Reflects on What It Reads, Why Some People Are Creative, How to Be More Productive, How to Not Spend Money Compulsively, How to Win Self-Knowledge with Habits, Create Strategies to Your Challenges, Detect Emotional Habits, Self-Knowledge with Facial Expressions and Non-Verbal. Oh, I recorded this one. Yeah, I recorded, I believe. I gave the example of the person doing the tingling with the fingers. How to create confidence in the person even after failures. Strategy to surpass self-criticism. Exercise, sorry, in Portuguese it starts with exercise, but here it is. Practical exercise to increase self-confidence. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the videos and that you enjoy the videos that will be. Oh, sorry. I hope you enjoy the videos when they are published. Besides this live stream that it is behind the scenes. Thank you so much, and as always, good luck.